for years.
Yeah.
It's good luck.
Does this look okay? Yes. Okay, cool. Now I can hear.
Has a whole chain here.
I can hear better. Everything's very
Oh,
muffled.
with Jamie's Tribble, it looks like you're wearing a Tribble inside.
How do we know it wasn't an inside out tribble? This was your mother. No.
Here, she's pregnant. Okay, it's 11 o'clock. We're going to start rolling because we've got a big group of experts up here and we've got a ton of material to cover.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to do everything we can to make this the most fun hour of con.
Woo! Yeah!
So hopefully you are here for Cosplay 101, bringing your dreams to life. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm going to get right into introductions then. So I am Bob Mogg. I'm your moderator. We're going to do 30-second intros to keep this moving. I come from a historical costuming background, but have gotten into everything. Catherine.
My name is Catherine Fisher. I have a degree in fashion design and production, but that's not what I do for a living since it's real hard to break into the business. I make costumes for fun and occasionally a little profit, and been coming to Comic-Con since 2005 and doing this panel for since at least 2019. So thank you so much for being here.
I'm Jamie. I'm a cosplayer, actress, and YouTuber. You can check out my YouTube channel, Timeline with Jamie, and yeah.
I'm Michael Mason. I'm a cosplayer filmmaker of 20 plus years. My first convention was Comic-Con in 2006. And if you want to follow me, I'm Cinemason on YouTube and make independent films.
I'm Miguel Navarro Franco. I'm the founder of Legacy Cosplay. I've been cosplaying for Star Wars since 2015. I was a veteran before that in the Navy. I've been a mega nerd for everything, just anything basically. I've been making creations since I was a little kid, making my own characters and costumes, and live it as an adult now, living my dream. So, hi.
Ingrid.
Hello there. I'm Ingrid. I'm a actress, writer, and of course cosplayer. I love cosplaying, just getting into characters. Since I'm a horror fan, I love some of the horror stuff too, and sci-fi, and I think I just have my hand in everything. I'm just curious about everything. So thank you for having me here.
Hi, I'm Dan. I'm not a Superman in the cosplay community. I am a Superman enthusiast, an artist, and a charity cosplayer. I've been going to Comic-Con since 2009 and started cosplaying in 2012.
Very good. Waiting to do a toss-up or lightning round. One of the things we really push is, if you're not having fun doing cosplaying, why are you doing it? Okay, makes sense. But having said that, let's give me your favorite inspiration, and let's start at down there with Super Dan.
Well, I'm wearing mine inspiration. Sure, that started it all for me with Smallville, because in its fourth season, when I first got into the show, after that, the rest was history. I just got really into Superman and superheroes and started diving into that genre. And to get to that inspiration, I've acquired several Superman suits over the years, including the Smallville suit based off the comic, a black suit from the comics, a spandex version of this one that I wear for charity events, and Superboy, not just a t-shirt and jeans, but an actual suit. Jor-El from the old Christopher Reeve movies, and a couple of Christmas variations.
As you can see, I'm Ridley. So my inspiration, I was a kid that grew up in the 80s. Go 80s.
Yeah! Gen X for the win.
During that time, there weren't a lot of female protagonists who were very strong, and also had curly hair like me. So I could never really relate to the characters. I didn't really see myself on screen that much until Ripley came along and changed my world. And Ever since then, I've been inspired to, try to pick characters that kind of resemble me. So I like doing Jessie from Toy Story because she's also very energetic and a lot of fun. So that's kind of close to my personality in a way too. But I mean, I've done everything from mutant cannibals to, sci-fi and beyond. So it's just a lot of fun to get into the actual character, the mind of the character, and actually dress up as the character and act out the character. So I love doing that.
My greatest inspiration actually was my mother. Growing up, I wanted to be any character, and she would make it for me with like felt stuff like my Ninja Turtles costume and my Batman. And unfortunately, I tried to become Batman, and I broke my arm from the 1989 Batman. I literally snapped my arm almost completely off, trying to pretend like I was falling in the trash can. But I've always loved being a character, so I still do it now. Like, so.
All right, so my first inspiration, I would say, was going to the video store. Yeah, I'm really showing my age here for a second here, but renting the NES video game Ninja Gaiden. Okay, who's heard of Ninja Gaiden? Come on. Thank you. Okay, so obviously I've had some cosplays before that. I mean, like when I was a kid, I would dress up as Inigo Montoya from Princess Bride. That was my first one. But then I got into being a ninja a lot. So when I got out of boot camp in 2007, I basically went to the Chinatown over there, and they were selling ninja costumes. So I started terrorizing all my shipmates, and I came back here and I went to Comic-Con, and I would be a ninja with a gatling gun. But it all started with Ninja Gaiden for that love for that. And once I started doing that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do more cosplays on video games I really like. So I started doing Chrono Trigger, Legend of Zelda. I did this right now. I'm doing Persona 5's Joker because I'm a big fan of that. And here I am.
My inspiration has to be Halloween because I was like, why can't I do this year long? And so then once I discovered cosplay was a thing, I'm like, this is what I'm doing. So I do mostly time travel, like Spock here, Doctor Who, and other things too.
My inspiration it's kind of all over the place. I was really into like fairy tales when I was a kid, and I've been making costumes since I was like 9 years old. I used to make Barbie stuff for my Barbies, and when I was 14, I decided I wanted to actually become a fashion designer. So I like, fairy tales, movies, comics, anything that's pretty and fun and, fur, satin, spandex, rhinestones, anything like that. Just anything that catches my eye, but science fiction, Star Wars, all that jazz.
Interestingly enough, you are my inspiration. Those of you who are out there in costumes, I'm always looking and stealing things from you, even though you don't know it. It's kind of fun. But it's fun. This year, we're not all in Star Wars. Last year,
That's
I
right.
think both panels, we were all in Star Wars.
We had a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars. So thanks for bringing Star Trek back. We like it. Thanks.
Let's do Star Trek.
Oh, our favorite topic.
Yes.
You want it good, you want it faster, you want it cheap. Pick two.
Because you can't have all three.
Can't have all three. Who up here in the panel, show of hands, are big thrifters? Okay, that's interesting. How many of you feel that you are a good sewer on a sewing machine? How many of you have a 3D printer at home? Oh, that's kind of light for a group like this. EVA foam? Okay. Even on a panel like this, everybody specializes. But that doesn't mean you can't trade skills. I know.
Yes.
Catherine came to me to learn chainmail.
Yes.
And did a spectacular outfit. Maybe the picture's in tomorrow's.
It's in tomorrow's.
It's in tomorrow's.
Yeah, it's more advanced. He taught me chainmail. He didn't just teach me how to weave it. He taught me how to make it. So he made a rig to the coils, aluminum coils. I did all that, and it weighed about 11 pounds when I was done, but it was pretty cool.
What are your other tricks for doing things on the cheap?
I got one.
Go ahead.
Once you start with something cheap, then that's a good starting point. Obviously, you're always, if it's fast, sure, you need it right away, you got a convention in a few days. That's a good thing, but then you start to say, hey, I want to upgrade things, because you should, because there's certain materials that you should not have. For example, see my gloves? They didn't look like this morning.
Leather.
Leather sucks.
Pleather?
It's serious, really fast.
Some pleather sucks.
So always upgrade, even if it's like really, really cheap, and you'll be a lot happier with it, especially if it's something that you're really, really passionate about. I mean, like you'd upgrade the pants, the boots, the mask. My mask is awesome. I got it from Mad Masks. My original I got, it was pleather, it fell apart after the first year. So, little tip.
I really like to, I'm very old school. Like I don't have a 3D printer. So like a lot of my stuff, I make out of either EVA foam. A lot of my helmets, like I've made stormtroopers, several Mandalorian helmets, Jason masks. I make them out of cardboard. Raphael from Epic Cardboard Props has a lot of great patterns. I made so much stuff out of cardboard and paper mache, old school from like, grade school, elementary school. I used to love paper mache and I do that now. I also, what I've been doing a lot lately is repurposing old costumes. Like the costume I'm gonna wear tomorrow is one I made back in 2018. It's a Harley Quinn. I took it apart, took the sleeves off. So now she's like got a little muscle shirt on. I'm good. I turn those into gauntlets. I get to wear tennis shoes tomorrow, which is gonna be great. So just repurposing old costumes too. Just like, if I'm not gonna wear it again, turn it into something new.
Oh, I just wanted to know that comfort is very important. So when we're talking about materials, like you really want to make sure that the material breathes, especially since, Comic-Con is in the summer, it's very hot. I mean, yes, I know coming from a girl wearing a jacket, but I'm always cold. So this is me here with a jacket. But yeah, just very important to do that because I've had a few mishaps with polyester being one of those materials where I'm bathed in sweat, not fun normally, but we've had those kind of moments.
Okay, good. All good tips. Okay, we talked a little bit about trading skills with people. I changed pictures on you.
That's okay.
The reason I put
Love it.
this one up here is I'm always encouraging men to costume because lots of times you'll see the guys in the t-shirt and, his significant others in a spectacular outfit. Actually, the other way too, but a black suit, oh, you can use it for everything. And that constable's suit, constable's coat has no sewing in it. If you turn up the lapels, put buttons on pin backings, you can make something like that. And then the next day you can restore it back to being a suit and use it for an interview, a funeral, a wedding, whatever you need it for. So very versatile. And we'll get back to looking at things in your closet a little later. Okay, lightning round. Name your favorite internet resource person when you go to for help on ideas and stuff like that. Catherine, start with that.
Stephen K. Smith, SKS props. He's really great. Second one would be the Raphael's Epic Cardboard Props.
Mine would be Kami Cosplay. I mean, she gives a lot
Kamui,
of-
yeah. What? Is it Kamui or?
I don't
Kamui
know.
cosplay is great.
Yeah.
Kamiya.
So she gives a lot of good advice.
Yeah, she stole my answer. Kamiya cosplay.
I pretty much just look online, Google. I pretty much like see whatever idea I want, and then kind of go from there, seeing what I can see on thrift stores or marketplaces, basically. And then if I can't find that, then I kind of go to commissioners through like Pro Cosplay and Leather Fashion Valley.
I'm always researching every time that I try to get into a specific cosplay, just because sometimes, like for example, Ripley, the details matter because nobody's gonna look at me and go, "Oh my gosh, that's Ripley." No, so I have to kind of help them out a little bit. So I'm always like researching makers and people that I know to help me to create, like for example, my little buddy here, the face hugger that I have on my shoulder and stuff like that, just to add those additional details.
So I actually got you, Catherine, up there for a lot of it when I was the commissioner for several of my suits and capes and whatnot.
I'm his exclusive designer.
And then I also sometimes get ideas from Etsy. They sell a lot of good cosplay material. So any beginners out there who need props or pieces or even costumes, I would highly recommend it.
We love when kids cosplay.
Yes.
We love when families cosplay.
Yes.
Looking out there. We got a few kids in the part. Okay.
Some kids here.
Who's got a good kids cosplay story?
I'm not a kid.
I'll say something. So with Legacy Cosplay, we are family oriented, and I have a lot of military families that have their children that decide to cosplay with us. So we do events like with USO, NWR. So like then they come in and have their kids dressed up. Like we had a whole family dressed up as Star Wars or Ghostbusters. Whenever we do events and parades,
Yeah.
it's really fun to include their families because then they can actually cosplay more often. So it's really fun to include the family with doing stuff because then it becomes a family event, and then it grows them into small cosplayers for when they become adults. They're big cosplayers.
I belong to Kids Can Cosplay, and one of my favorite events that they do every year is the neurodiverse prom for high schoolers, and it's an amazing event. And it just, I was Rapunzel, but when she cut off her hair because she's a brunette, so I got away with that, and a big fancy ball dress and my little pal Pascal. And it was just a very fun event just to see the smiles on their faces and to see how much energy and love they have for you in the cosplays that you're in. It's just incredible, and they're just so embracing. I also remember a time where I've done an event, a parade, and I was dressed as Mirabelle. I had a little girl who came running at me at full speed just to come and give me a hug because she couldn't wait to hug. So it's a kind of a wonderful experience because you're making memories for kids. And that's really one of the reasons why I got into cosplay in the first place, just to do that for the kids and make those wonderful memories for them.
We get into the always exciting topic of original design or recreating. And this is not a question of one is better than the other. This is a question of what you like to do. So show of hands, whose favorite is original designs? Okay, recreations?
That's like second
And
favorite.
then there's some that do both, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go, okay.
Both.
What's the toughest thing about a recreation? Toss-up question.
Finding the right pieces, or being able to make the right pieces to match them. In my particular case, since I get my materials from different places, matching all these brands is a bit of a challenge to make a suit cohesive. So that'd be my tip.
What about original design?
Original design, you can basically turn it into whatever you want. If you actually draw it all out and you want to bring it to life, it's so rewarding when that happens. But like you're allowed to change materials to make things go faster, but you don't want to sacrifice quality. So you really have a lot of freedom when you're original and so forth, but you're trying to make the biggest impact with it too. So there's kind of like a gray area in there, but you could do a lot.
This particular costume I'm wearing here, this is an original design. It is not my original design. It is Christopher Cannoli's visual conceptualization. This is Felicity Spitfire. This is Dude Vader's AI companion, and everything on this costume is this is the perfect one to wear for this because I didn't make anything on this costume. Everything was sourced through Amazon. Even my hair dye that I used to dye my hair the same color as Felicity, this is the character on the back. That's Felicity Spitfire. Let me see. Oh, sorry. There. And so Chris came up with the idea, and I got the leggings, the top off Amazon. He got the boots, the jacket. I sewed on the patches he chose, dyed my hair auburn, and Felicity Spitfire came to life. So you can, it's a cool costume, but I didn't sew any of it, just hand sewed the patches. So
That's the very definition of Chris's dream come true.
I just wish he was here dressed as Dude Vader today so we could recreate that picture, but he is in his new creation, Obi-Wan Kenobi today, so.
He's still carrying the head of Dude Vader, so we're okay.
Yes.
Cosplaying as couples or families can be lots of fun. And we have a cosplay family up here.
Ingrid is one of our
Yeah.
couples in Palm.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I have my other half right there, and we do a lot of different. So if I'm Jesse from Toy Story, he's going to be Woody. We have also done Indiana Jones and Marion. We've done Buttercup and the Dread Pirate Roberts. Anybody that's a fan of the Princess Bride over there? We've done also Mirabelle and Bruno. Nobody talks about Bruno, so he gets that a lot. That's the thing too with costuming. If you are going to do a character that has, like, for example, Bruno, you're going to get that so many times by so many different kids. So you just have to be patient and go along with it. And it's so fun just to see their excitement that, we're just so into it. A lot of fun.
We have a husband and wife team. I'm sorry, I skipped over them because he was in that picture. Jamie and Michael are a cosplay couple, husband and wife cosplayers. Here.
So what happened here was I would ride the Indiana Jones ride a lot at Disneyland. So I bought one of those hats. And immediately when I did that, because I can't tell right now, but I actually have a big poofy hair and kind of a thing. So every time I wore the Indiana Jones hat, wherever I went, everybody said, "Oh, you're fourth Doctor." I'm like, "Who's Doctor Who?" And at the time, I didn't know who Doctor Who was because it was foreign to me. But some friends to me came up to me at a Renaissance fair and says, "Hey, we want you to put on this scarf and like you have your hat and everything like that. We're going to go do this photo shoot for this convention happening." It was like a Doctor Who convention happening in San Diego. And when I did that, I met Jamie, who was the companion to the fourth Doctor.
Romana.
So it was old school and so forth. But since then, sparks fly. 4 years later, we got married, and we've been cosplaying a couple costumes ever since.
Yeah, so we do Fourth Doctor and Romana together. Then we do Link and Zelda and a bunch of other couples cosplays too. And it's so much fun getting to be up here with them and just cosplaying with them too.
Like Chrono and Luca was another one too that we did recently for the 30th anniversary of Chrono Trigger coming out, and we have an orchestra coming out, so we're doing that. So that's our next one that we're doing. But we did Klingon and Spock and other things, but it's been a lot of fun, especially when you have someone that you can share it with.
Yay!
I will point out that Ingrid's significant other dressed very nicely today, but look at the number of bags he's carrying. Okay, this is what's called a hand.
He's our fan.
Yes.
Because you don't have a lot of storage space in a lot of these. So it's nice to have someone who's bringing lunch, keeping you watered, collecting up stuff, and, doing all these things. So
It
that's
is
an important
nice.
function too.
It's nice.
Yay.
Okay, closet cosplay is kind of an interesting term, but the idea is you just dive into your closet, start pulling pieces out, throw together a costume. Quick, cheap, dirty, wonderful, and they can be spectacular.
Yeah.
How big are your cosplay closets?
We need another closet.
I have a 2-bedroom apartment, and my spare room is just fabric and costumes, and it's filled to the gills.
I don't have a closet. She took it over completely. I have a garage with 40 bins. So she gets all that space.
I have several boxes, one for each of my suits, and then a couple of boxes of just random materials that I've required and looking for ways to repurpose it. Like it looks full, but I don't know what to use it for yet. So I have my fair share of that. And so, yeah, we've only been reorganizing and coming up with ideas on how to make use of them.
Yeah, my closet, the one closet when we first started this, is now exploding, and so my better half says to me, "Okay, no more cosplays." But come on, you're talking to a cosplayer, so it's like I'm always gonna find something. Oh, how about that? How about this? How about that? So yeah, just beware if you're gonna go into cosplay, you're gonna get into that.
I work at Spirit Halloween, and I'm kind of a costume hoarder. So I have a storage unit that's a 5x20. Half of it's filled with mostly Spirit Halloween costumes because I'm a store manager. So I get a nice big discount, and I can kind of hold the costumes that I want for the end of the season. So yeah, I have a lot.
Don't they get mad when you do that?
I'm the store manager.
Regional manager is going to come and whoop your ass.
Okay, and frequently that costuming out of your closet leads to mashups. You want to do 2 costumes and decide they go together well. And that can work, and that can have difficulties. What are the hallmarks of a good mashup? What do you have to do?
Make it recognizable so that they recognize both, that the audience or the fans recognize both genres that you're mashing up. I think that's a successful mashup.
Jamie, hold up your little thing in your hand. What is that? Thank you.
Yes.
How easy is that?
And he has his own uniform. Yep.
It matches.
I'm not even gonna go there.
Hey, $40.
Yeah, the key thing is to pick those very recognizable things. The Superman S on anything, it's clearly Superman. Darth Vader's helmet, a Mandalorian helmet. You know, I pull out a lightsaber and you know I'm a Jedi. All those key things are enough to carry an entire mashup.
I can pitch a mashup that I thought was great in concept, but it didn't necessarily stand
Land.
out or register. Where I tried to mash Superman and Luke Skywalker from the Return of the Jedi outfit. And so I used Luke Skywalker's base outfit from black, but I colored it a dark blue and then put the Superman symbol on that. People just kept registering Superman because of the symbol. Even if I carry a lightsaber with me, a year later, I removed the cape and put one of the Star Wars Rebel logos on the back. So I turned around and people started kind of getting it. But initially, I kept getting asked, Superman, why are you carrying a lightsaber? So it's just kind of one of those. I might wear it at a convention type deal, but if I were to wear it like out in public or a charity, so yeah, that could happen. But it was a lesson well learned. So.
I did a mashup with, that was a Doctor Who one again, and it was K9 from the early series. And that was like a really cool one because like I really want to make like a humanoid K9 because nobody does it. Everybody just wants to do like either a companion or a dog. So it didn't really start off as a mashup up until I added a few key things to it. Well, first off, in the show, K9 shot a red laser out of his like nose and so forth. So I was like, okay, how can I replicate that? Let's give him a red lightsaber. Immediately, it became a Cyber Sith K9. And then I had a gun, like kind of like a big gun that I built up, kind of like Mega Man. And people thought it was like, oh, K9 went evil, and he's like an evil Sith, like K9. But it really is. It's just like it's not a Terminator. It's just a humanoid K9, and people had a lot of fun, talking about that at last Gallifrey 1 convention.
That also, you can mix franchises, genres. I'm still looking for an official Star Trek Jedi. Don't know. I don't. It's a great concept. I cannot get my head around how to do it.
That's how I am with anime.
Blasphemy.
I want to do anime, but I just don't can't choose a costume. So it's interesting.
Gender bending. Jamie, have you ever done a Doctor Who?
I've done the original master from the classic Who. He's called Delgado Master, and I did a female version of him. And today I'm also doing a female version of Spock. So,
Lady Spock.
Do you generally get good responses to it?
sometimes people know who I am. Like today, they know I'm Spock for sure. But sometimes it's like they're like, "Who are you?" And then I have to explain it. So it happens.
Yeah.
That does happen. Okay, comfort in cosplay. Well, let's lightning round this. One thing you would tell somebody who wants to wear a costume all day long at Comic-Con. Start us out, Dan.
One thing I would recommend, if you decide to wear boots, get some insoles. Yeah,
Yeah.
I recommend Dr. Schultz, so that Walmart, Amazon, I think Target, so not that expensive, you can even cut them to your own size, slip them right in, and you're good.
I would say sneakers. I've done Marion and we've done Indiana Jones, and well, Marion has sandals, and I could change out of my sneakers into those sandals for pictures, but for the most part, I'm wearing sneakers. I just want to be comfortable.
Okay, pockets
Pockets.
on everything. That just helps out a lot. But if you're wearing like a big costume, I would definitely recommend like getting a hotel room so you switch out and go into another costume later on in your day. I mean, like there's people I know who like get a hotel room just so even 3 to 4 times in their car,
Mhm.
just because they wear like the heaviest costume and it doesn't breathe. So that pots.
I would definitely say insoles for sure, and make sure you wear the right shoes. I mean, we don't have to wear heels around the convention. No one's asking you to do that. You cannot like Comic Con, you can do that, but just comfortable shoes and make it work. Yeah.
Make sure you try on your costume before you come to the con, make sure it fits and everything's comfortable, and stay hydrated, stay hydrated.
And don't put leather on your costumes. It falls apart.
Work in storage where you can, get a handler if you can't. Probably good. Best ideas on it. Oh, the one we didn't touch. You can all go into the bathroom in your costume, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
in these
Oh,
ones, yes. That's important.
Picture
Doing it right
stormtrooper
now.
armor and what it takes to do a bathroom break in stormtrooper armor.
Yeah.
And those kind of things happen, so. Reality. Okay, what are the benefits of joining groups?
Networking, fun events that you can do, just, like with Legacy Cosplay Society and Star Wars Society, we get to go to Ronald McDonald's house and, just make, the families of the kids there happy. Those are I really like just making the parents and the children that we cosplay for happy, but, networking and making new friends and meeting people whom you can, barter with skills. If I can sew, but I don't have 3D printers, so I can work with someone who's a 3D printer and I can sew for them. So stuff like that. Networking is really key for a group.
Some of the groups will have get-togethers, even full-blown conventions. San Diego Costumers Guild, a lot of them aren't here today because they're gearing up for Costume College next week.
Yeah.
Which includes a ball and all these other things. But those classes and the fact you can go to somebody who can help you out of that hole you just dug yourself into is a really nice part about a lot of these groups.
Costume College is in LA and it is amazing. I've learned so much from Costume College.
There's also cosplay meetups here at Comic Con and other conventions as well. So if you want to just dip your feet in or get to know people, if you're here the weekend, I definitely recommend looking some up.
We've touched on this a couple of times, but I'm going to throw it down because I know that both Miggy and Ingrid, well, pretty much everybody up here does the cosplay for charity.
Yep, we all do.
Somebody give me a good story.
I'm trying to think of one right now because there's so many. I feel like sometimes I love going to these events, and I think the reaction from kids, just having fun with them. A lot of times, for example, my husband and I, we went to an event. It was for deaf awareness, and basically one of the kids came up to us and asked us, "So when's the next Toy Story movie coming out?" So you need to have an answer for that, and so or where's Buzz? And so, you need to have answers for those questions that are believable from these specific characters and what you would say to them. And, basically I'll either say Buzz is on a mission in outer space, or the next movie is coming out soon, kind of deal. And I think that appeases the kids a little bit. We get asked questions about, if we're Mirabelle and Bruno, where's the rest of the family? So we get asked those kind of questions. So you really need to be on. Kids, they'll see right through it. So, you want to give them an answer that they'll say, "Oh yeah, okay, I get it," or "Oh yeah, I understand," that kind of thing. And they just smile and they'll believe that you're the character even more.
I can relate to that. I've been asked to fly so many times. I always tell them, only in an emergency.
Yeah. When we've done visits with Ronald McDonald's house, obviously we can't be around the children, but we can be with the families of the children. So a lot of times the parents will put us on FaceTime and we can talk to the kids who are in the hospital, across the way, and just seeing them light up because they see, a stormtrooper, or in my case, like a lady Wookiee or Superman or Captain America. That makes them really happy. And it's just really nice to see the kids light up and see it's like, we can't be with you, but we're sending you our love and best wishes, and then the families are just super happy that we're there. For May the 1st, oh, sorry, May the 4th, we were there, and there was a family whose their little boy had just beaten cancer, which was great, and he was just there like for a follow-up checkup, and he was saying that Star Wars was very important to them because the day when they took in their child to the, for their appointment, and they found out that he had leukemia, there were Star Wars decorations all over the place. So seeing us there for Star Wars Day and the day that their child was pronounced, in remission, was very special to them. And it was really special that they shared that with us. And they only spoke Spanish, but luckily one of our members was our translator, and it was just so nice for them to share that with us. That was one of my favorite stories.
It's just really great to have a community. I started doing it as a mainstream for myself because as a military person, I always believe service is what you do. Comes from a family. My grandfather was in the Army during World War II. And so I've been taught service most of my life. So it's just community is awesome to support that. So creating a group where everyone feels a sense of purpose by cosplaying kind of gives you more of a little, pep in your step to make people happy. Bringing smiles to children and helping communities just reach out more, basically. That's kind of our goal whenever we do this community service. And it just makes us happier because we get to dress up, we get to be our inner selves sometimes. It's just really fun.
Very good. Okay. The panel members are thinking, man, he's really pushing us for this, but I did this for a reason, because now we have time for questions and answers.
Yes.
Anybody got any questions? Right there.
Yeah, we're a family of cosplayers.
Yay.
We're still relatively new to it. One thing I've been struggling with is what is your basic toolkit? What's in your stuff to get us started?
Okay.
Okay, oh, foam. Now we're getting geek on that. Oh, wait. How do we get foam to stick to certain other things so it actually sticks to our body? And so what are all the pieces you need for a good starting kit?
An Amazon card.
Surprisingly, you can get by with a good pair of scissors,
Sewing
simple
kit.
hand sewing, hem tape.
Hot glue gun.
Yeah, this to that is a website, and it'll tell you how to stick any two things together. It's an amazing site.
Yes.
Any other suggestions?
Uh,
Well,
no.
I'm going to do a blatant self-plug.
yes.
I have over 500 tutorials on costume stuff sitting out there on the web at theirontailor.blogspot.com. You can catch me afterwards if you didn't remember it. And they're all tutorials of basically all the costumes I've done, ranging from all sorts of things. I'm wearing my 15-minute cloak. It is literally a cloak you can sew up in 15 minutes with just hand sewing. You don't even need a machine. Other questions? It went in front of there.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Okay, cosplay repair. I don't know if Sergeant Stitch is here this time. There are several groups that.
The Patcheteers, they are usually like a roving cosplay repair team will come in, you can text them and they'll come to you. I remember once back in 2015, the heel on my shoe broke, but I knew it could be fixed with hot glue. So I texted her and she showed up with her portable glue gun, and it was great. And they do it for free, but I tipped her. I was like, here's $5. Thank you so much for helping me out. And there is a cosplay repair station it's on the mezzanine near the Star Wars Society booth. And Colleen Burks and her husband have that. It's pretty cool. But you can always have a little sewing kit with you, and
Repair kit.
repair kit, yes.
Yeah, super glue,
Yes.
Velcro.
Velcro,
Yes.
safety pins. You're trying to do things really fast. I also carry a couple of buttons glued to tie-tack packs. So I can just tack those in real quick to pull out bits together.
Also, right now at the San Diego Library, they have a cosplay
Yes.
repair station.
They do.
Oh, yes.
Um,
Yes. And I don't, like I said, check on the mezzanine and the cosplay repair station, just ask for Colleen Burks. I'm pretty sure she could help you out with that. They've got all sorts of good stuff there. She's very helpful.
If you flag down a cosplayer, chances are they've got some repair stuff and can help you out too. It's amazing how many people will help out. Another question.
So like with me, when I was a kid, I made zombie like torn costumes, and I also did like a Superman like burned situation. So when I was burning stuff, I basically used water at the same time to kind of give it the searedness, and then mixed it with a little bit of red dye and marker to kind of muck it up a little bit more
And
with
corn
any kind
syrup.
of dye, and putting a little bit black in it too to kind of give it coagulation. Kind of just going off science basically with what I'm doing.
Charcoal and sandpaper is like a little trade secret. Especially when you have like leathers and stuff like that, you can scratch it up real nice and that kind of thing. And charcoal is like, you can basically just add it to your, like, costume and so forth, and it actually will give it some age and so forth.
Black and brown temporarily hair cover
Yes.
can be sprayed on your skin to give grime and looks like that and washes off easily.
He had a question right there.
I was just gonna say, the other thing is, you're looking for one of the things in the prop side, lettering,
Yes.
and it's the same search term for, like, costumes.
Distressing.
How can you do that?
So thank you guys for this. I'm brand new to cosplay, so this is like super helpful. I appreciate it, all of you guys. My question is kind of about the shelf life of a given costume. Like you put in a lot of effort into it, right? A lot of time. So how many times can you just use it and use it and use it, or do you like it one and done? Like,
Exhibit A.
It depends on the material.
right.
The better quality, the longer it will last, but yes.
Yeah. Is there like if it does last, do people just use them again?
Yeah, it's about maintenance. Like if you take care of your costume, like I have my first Captain America costume. It was a cheap eBay costume that I bought together. It was a two-piece suit. I still have it. It's in pretty good condition. I don't fit it anymore because I've grown about 40 pounds of muscle to be like Captain America naturally. So like it's just about care. That's how everything is.
Even with that pleather over there, if you add extra virgin olive oil to it, it'll increase its durability. So
Yeah.
it is all about care and so forth. That was
Keep
just
it out of the sun.
keep it out, so, yeah.
Those costumes frequently evolve and upgrade, and you change out materials, you do get something a little better, a little nicer, you put more effort into it. They can stay around for a long time.
Oh, yes.
She had a question.
Back in the white church.
This is a question, this is more of a comment. Never underestimate how kitschy he is.
Yes.
I did this when I was 7 or 8 with Star Wars. Doctor Who. I'm watching my nieces and nephews. They're trying to play Doctor Who. And there's someone said, "Oh, we don't have a dollar." I said, "No problem. I'm going to get you out a whisk and a colander. Ain't got a dollar."
Exterminate.
I was thinking of cheese whiz.
Yes, she's correct. Anything can become materials for cosplay. So don't ever underestimate, anything from wood stuff, carpentry, anything really.
Home Depot has a lot of great stuff for costuming.
Yeah, it's all about ingenuity.
Yes.
Like creativity is key, and your imagination is pretty much limitless if you allow it. So.
Mostly what everybody's dancing around with this is it's all a shape. Everything
Yes.
around you is a shape, and you can use it to your advantage in a certain way. So that's how creativity works. I mean, like I said, a plunger or like a piece off a car can help you too. It just all depends on how you use it.
Exactly.
Right here.
We were looking for like sewing patterns for specific pieces, like a site or a program you like to use to find patterns.
Sewing patterns.
You can do this on ChatGPT into like will give you an actual pattern. That is one resource you can do.
Yes.
I mean, it used to be Joanne's that we would go to and flip through the books like crazy, but now ChatGPT can just spit those out. And even Peppercura can actually be another resource too.
I used to get all my patterns from Joann's when they'd have them like 99 cents each, so I've got like hundreds and hundreds of patterns. Since they don't exist anymore, Hobby Lobby carries some of the patterns, but you can also, there's lots of websites, and moodfabrics.com offers a lot of free patterns, which is cool. You just sign up for them, and they'll send you, say, hey, here's the free pattern. You look at it, go on their website, they email it to you, and then you download it and print it out. So there's lots of places will just have free patterns. And also Facebook Marketplace is a fantastic source for this kind of stuff. A lot of women or a lot of people out there are selling their patterns, and eBay selling patterns. You can buy like a whole bunch. They'll sell for like $1 as well. And even if it's a pattern you're like not quite sure about that, just buy it and you can turn it into something else. So I do that a lot. Even now that Joann's is gone, I bought a bunch of used patterns like for $1 a piece. So that's a good source for them.
Chris?
A lot of people see us as sort of mannequins. What do you do to get into character once you're in your outfit?
Visualize.
Yeah, cosplay is a lot more than just wearing the costume. We've talked about you have to stay in character, you have to answer those questions. You go as far as
I think that for me, depending on the character, like I'll just throw out an example, SpongeBob. I love SpongeBob. I know a lot of things about SpongeBob. I've seen the show, so basically I can just imagine him in my head right now, how he sounds, how he moves, how he talks, and then basically I could just go ahead and be SpongeBob and do the SpongeBob. And I think that, yeah, it's true. When you're cosplaying, you're trying to channel that specific character through your cosplay. And basically, if you are very familiar with a specific character, you can definitely be successful in channeling that character.
See, that's a great question because like I know what I like because I see a lot of costumes. I'm like, oh, I like that. I'll recreate it. But I don't necessarily know the character's backstory. So like once back in, I don't know, 2008, 2009, I made a Zatanna costume because I just thought, hey, magician costume, sexy, cool. I made that, and some guy came up to me and started talking to me backwards, and I had no idea what he was talking about. And I guess it's because Zatanna does her spells backwards, and I was like, okay, I had no idea what he was talking about. I thought he was weird. And someone's like, that's what she does. I'm like, ooh. So I try and learn that better. That's why original designs are better because then you develop your personality. So like with my various Wookiee costumes, like Chewbacca's Irish girlfriend, I just, do that and make up stories like, where's Chewbacca? And I'm like, I don't know, he's with one of his other girlfriends. I'm just here having fun for St. Patrick's Day, stuff like that.
last question.
I have. I've been in it for a few years with a couple of various groups. Masquerade is a good experience. It's a good opportunity to just meet fellow cosplayers, get to chat with one another, and then perform on stage in front of people. But you think it would be nerve-wracking, but it's actually pretty dark when you're out there performing. So you actually don't see too many people. So at least for me, it makes it much easier. And then, yeah, I just think it's an overall good time.
Masquerade's wonderful, but to learn more about it, you're gonna have to come back tomorrow at 11 o'clock, same bat station, same bat conference room.
New costumes.
Okay, I've saved the last 3 minutes for something we love to do. It's a little bit of a tradition. We love it. I want all the photographers to gather in the center aisle and everyone in costume come up
to the
and
front.
stand in front of the dais. We're gonna get pictures.
Come on.
We're gonna get a group picture.
Anyone in
You're
costumes,
costume,
come on over.
And then most of us will be available after this out in the hallway out there if you have any more questions. Come on, group in, group in. Not all of them have wide angle lenses.
Yeah, you can get in the front if you have to kneel down a little bit.
Come on over.
See who's using panorama.
Come on up.
Should call it cosplay assembly.
Yes. Here. Cosplayers assemble.
Yes.
This is why you don't do a superhero landing.
I know the panel will respect this.
You and Susie. I should remember that. It's a great name.
You get my thumbs up, Bob.
Yes, all right.
Welcome to Cosplay 102, taking it to the next level and beyond. If you missed our 101, bringing our dreams to life yesterday, well, we're going to cover a little bit of material, but we're going to go a lot deeper. We're going to get into the things that really allow you to step up to some pretty fabulous outfits. So I am your moderator. I'm Bob Mogg. We'll do 30-second intros, thank you. And I come from a historical costuming background, but obviously, like so many of us, I've gone to the dark side and gone very Star Wars in the last few years.
Yes.
Catherine.
I'm Catherine Fisher, and I do have a background in, my degree is actually in fashion design and production, but it's not what you know, it's who you know in the business, and I didn't know anybody, so that's not what I do for a living. I just do it for fun and sometimes a little profit. I met Bob through the San Diego Costumers Guild. I met Brendan, Annika, Nathan through the San Diego Star Society, and Ayla through Nathan, and I'm just so happy and proud to be here with these awesome costumers to talk to you about taking your costumes to the next level.
Brendan.
Fabulous. My name is Brendan Prout. This is my 41st year at Comic-Con. I am been around here for a bit. I've been cosplaying for about 25 years. I'm a member of the 501st, Rebel Legion, San Diego Star Wars Society. I'm a droid builder. I'm also an author in the industry. I'm one of the co-authors of Superhero Grief, The Transformative Power of Loss. I'm a mental health professional working for the Navy full-time across the bay at Naval Base Coronado, overseeing some mental health programs for our sailors and their families. And I'm a pastor. And you can't tell, I'm a giant nerd, so I do a lot of different cosplays, mostly Star Wars, but I do delve into a lot of other fandoms as well.
Hi there, I'm Annika. I am his daughter. I have been cosplaying against my will since I was 6 months old.
And by choice, how long?
And by choice since I was 2.
I was gonna say.
So I've been cosplaying a long time. I got into doing Mandalorians about 6 years ago, I want to say, something like that. And I've been doing that since. I mostly do Mandos. Sometimes I'll do like anime characters, other stuff like that. Usually work with Sintra, but as you can see, this is 3D printed, so.
Hi, my name is Ayla Fox. I've been creating costumes for as long as I can remember. Started off in the fantasy genre, fairies, mermaids, princesses and queens. I play Mary Queen of Scots for some of the Northern California Renaissance fairs, and then got into steampunk. I created a steampunk fairy who's an environmental crime fighter, and that kind of led me into the Star Wars steampunk universe, where I met my buddy Nathan coming on 11 or more years ago now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 10 years. And then we started getting more and more into Star Wars. And he got me on a recent fan film that we're working on called A Civil War with our director, Scott Wynn, who actually is here. And the Star Wars community is just such an amazing, welcoming place that I've just really found a home here, and have been expanding my skills, doing more and more Mandos. I do a Twi'lek and some Jedi. So yeah, happy to be here.
Nathan Seekerman. Let's see, Instagram is @CappedSeekerman, and my build page is Seeker Design Group. So let's see, background is USC film student, did the producer program, went into the film industry for a couple years, switched out to advertising, and really the thing I loved about the entertainment industry experience was the prop shop. So about 10 years ago, I decided I would finally do some of my own cosplay building, and from there started a business, and now do full kits on commission. And Haley today is wearing one that I printed, but she did all the paintwork.
Yes, I am the model for Secret Design Group here.
So we're going to talk about, different kinds of materials, but my background is really focusing more on 3D print and CAD design.
So the big thing we talk about is cosplay should be fun. If it starts to feel like work, it's kind of what's the point? So we will talk about turning it into a business and doing some things that are going to be a lot of work for you, but overall you should be enjoying it. I'm going to throw this down to Nathan because I'm dying to do it. Do we still have Steam Wars, the steampunk Star Wars universe? Is that still a thing?
It still exists, but there hasn't been much activity in a while.
I'm asking this because I know that we used to do the Iron Horse and
That's
get
right.
all those pictures. Describe for them what it takes to get pictures into a cosplay magazine.
Okay, let's see. To organize something like that, you want to think creatively. You want to be unique, as well as then start to think about how you wear your gear and how it reflects best on camera, not just for the cameraman, but on your build. So a lot of building takes into consideration whether it's for a photo shoot or whether it's for San Diego Comic-Con. You really always need to consider first your goal of the look, and then during that process, make sure it's comfortable so that it stays fun. So a lot of Velcro.
Or as us ladies say, beauty is pain. Kind of so is cosplay. So you just kind of gotta have the level of grit if you really want to be a hardcore cosplayer.
And work with real professional photographers. They will teach you so much about the pose, what's good on the camera, what doesn't. They're fabulous.
Right. Okay, if you want to mention photographers, there's sort of an arc. There's ones that are not sure how to pose you because they've never seen your steampunk thing before or your Star Wars kit before, and they don't understand yet what makes sense for a particular kit. And there's a little bit of a learning curve from them too. So take it easy and recognize that if you're working with a photographer for the first time, they might want you to think of 3 poses beforehand so that you can do those right away, and then they get a sense of how to continue working with you.
And always have your go-to pose.
Yeah.
That always looks good no matter which costume it is.
I was gonna say the same thing. If you can practice in the mirror having 3 go-to poses, it's really helpful when you're hot and you're sweaty and you're tired and you just bust your poses and then you get great photos no matter how you feel inside.
Yeah, and at a convention like this, there are a lot of photographers floating around that you've never seen, never heard of, never worked with before. I was watching one work with our friend Rebecca Yusi up on the mezzanine floor a little while ago. She's dressed up in her Fallout outfit. And a photographer walked up and said, "Hey, can I take a couple pictures of you?" She struck her main go-to pose, and he gave her a couple of very quick instructions. Could you lower your gun? Okay, could you look slightly to your left? That's amazing. Took a couple pictures. Could you turn this way? Very quick. So whoever this person was knew what they were doing, gave very quick instructions, and that was great to see it come out like that.
As they improve, you'll notice that they do the moving, and you need to hit your pose.
Also, get your 2 or 3 poses for still shots and have a video gig that's at least 3 seconds, but no more than 5. Because a lot of them now want to shoot video of you, and the more action you can give them, the better. I'm saving you, I'm saving you. We talk making versus buying, and this is our favorite graphic. You can have it good, you can have it cheap, and you can have it fast, but you can only pick 2. So when we say time is money, start working now on next year's outfit. It'll give you that extra time to shop, to find things, go through. What are the other tips you'd give to them?
Well, as you get better, you start to learn your shortcuts, and shortcuts meaning, okay, maybe such and such is not going to be so detailed. So, example, when I did this kit for WonderCon, I foolishly gave myself only 3 weeks, and this was a full kit in 3 weeks. But then I had that gap from WonderCon to San Diego, and I could add then things like magnets. Love magnets. Okay, and then I added the chess computer, and I miniaturized it, so I can turn it on here, line it up, done. So little things make a big difference, but you can go super quick with a what's it called, a clothespin. I've had to do that for friends.
The
where you
binder,
just-
like a binder clips.
You
that
just
make it-
bobby pin on Velcro and you go, because nobody will know, and you'll stay on long enough for photos and to have a good time.
And by bobby pin, he means safety pin.
Safety pin, thank you. Safety pin. I just mix those up. Thank you.
I like to make lists of everything that, like every component, like, okay, at this part, make this and add this and this and this. And especially, you know, what I think the best idea, and Nathan kind of touched a little about this, if you think it's going to take 3 weeks or however long you think it's going to take, double that. Just double it and be safe.
Double the budget.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
And do your research ahead of time. You know, somebody else may have already taken approaches to what you're trying to build. It may not have worked out. You might be able to learn from their YouTube video or their TikTok reel about, this is what you don't want to do because I learned this is bad, and here's a better way to do it. And if you can combine multiple tutorials, you'll find some best practices that'll work for you to build.
And I do one-on-ones all the time. Like if somebody is really struggling with something that they've seen on my Instagram or my build page, and like, how do I do that? I'll get into, days of back and forth conversation, just teaching them. I'm not trying to keep this secret. It's all about kind of the simple methodology. Doing is learning, learning is doing. So if you never try, you'll never learn.
Yeah, and I think going off that, don't let perfection kill your creation. Like so much of us can get in our heads about wanting it to look screen accurate and this, but like I'm just like a go for it girl. I'm like, I got 3 days before con, I'm gonna stay up all night and just con crunch. And you know what? Do your best, because part of that creative process is like what it's about. You're learning, it's good for your brain. You might not be feeling your best. You get to the convention, some random person's like, oh my God, that's amazing. Can I take your picture? And all of a sudden, all those late nights and all of that self-doubt is erased in a moment.
Yeah.
And you can feel really good about your kid, even if it's not perfect.
Good.
Don't feel, and if you're having a stumbling block on something, don't feel bad if you have to just like put it away for a while. Just walk away and work on something else. Kind of give it some time, and then you can approach it later on with fresh eyes.
When we start talking about materials, I'm just going to ask everybody to give me the quick answer. If you can pack it into 15 seconds, what's your favorite material to work with and why?
Okay.
I'm going to start with Catherine this time.
I like, fabric obviously when I'm sewing, but I really like as far as like sculpting and things like that. I do like EVA foam, but my favorite is really actually cardboard and paper mache, because it's plentiful, it's easy, it's affordable, and it's fun. It reminds me of when I was doing projects when I was a kid, and it's really fun. And it's awesome to see something really cool you made out of cardboard look realistic, like with Raphael's Epic Cardboard Props has patterns. I've made Mandalorian helmets, Darth Vader helmets, super cool, cardboard and paper mache.
Brendan.
With a lot of my 501st costumes, it involves vacuum formed pieces of plastic that you just have to cut and trim and fit to size. And I'm the most comfortable with that, but having her as a daughter, we work with a lot of stuff, and I'll let her talk about that.
For me, my favorite thing to work with is Sintra. It is very versatile, it's plastic, and you can heat mold it easily, but it doesn't tend to melt in the sun like 3D prints do.
Yes.
So you can heat it, reheat it. If it deforms, you reheat it, mold it again, and it keeps going.
Yeah, along the lines of 3D prints. So I just delved into 3D printing some Greeblies, some decorative pieces for a droid that I've been working on. And I painted them all really nicely, laid them out, and I forgot about them and left them in the hot sun, and they all deformed. So some of those pieces I just tossed, and some I turned into something else. But that is one of the dangers of 3D printing, is the materials are susceptible to heat.
So it's hot glue.
Yes.
I would say paint, spray paint and hand painting is my favorite medium that I've been getting into, learning to do the weathering and the detail work on the kits. My sewing skills are minimal, but improving. But yeah, definitely doing the paint jobs is my medium.
I've gotten a lot better with sewing on Velcro. I found that, I started working in foam, like doing like Halo characters and Transformers. So with that experience, I started making jetpacks with a foam body. And then now that I kind of more or less work in 3D printed parts, so the detail parts are 3D printed. And with a foam body, this thing is only 2 pounds.
Nice.
So compared to a full 3D print that could be as much as 7 pounds, it's a huge, huge difference and much more comfortable to wear. But what I'm wearing is a combination of 3D printed shoulders, 3D printed thigh plates, and as I pulled this one, the other one off, these are ABS plastic vac form pieces. And these take a bit more work because they come out and they have lots of flashing around the edges. So you have to do the Dremel work and get it all fitted and cut down. And then hopefully it fits you. And the collar didn't fit me. So instead I swapped it out to a 3D custom print.
I'm big on EVA foam. You can get into it with a pair of scissors and a razor knife, and that's about all you need to start. But I'll agree with Aya that the painting, you can take cardboard, you can take EVA, you can take things you find in the street, and a good paint job will turn them into something that everyone will be drooling over. And that's just mostly taking your time and building your paint up in layers. You'll put a base coat, then you make it your color coat, then you'll put a coat on and wipe most of it off. You're building depth.
Right. And one big tip I've come to realize with paint, and a lot of people, when they start to paint, don't hear this simple tip. Do light, thin coats for every layer. And so what I'm wearing, actually, all the pieces, they started out with filler primer so that I could get it like really smooth and it could be a really good base layer for adhesion to the rest of the colors. And my first color after gray filler primer is actually black, and just really thin black. And then the next is whatever I want the chipping to be. So it might be granite, it might be titanium, or it might be a chrome because I want it to be really bright. Like this one's a chrome, so it's really bright. At that point is it's called the subtractive method, and you add latex. That's your chipping patterns. You do latex. There's Humbrol, there's the face paint latex. There's lots of brands. All of them do the same job, which is to let you cover that silver so that at the end you take it off. Now, I always do my patterns color next, So I did the gray, which is actually like a dark gray. Then I put down stencils, and again, thin coats. That's all you need. And then was the brick red, thin coat. And it looks super bright. And then all of a sudden, you do weathering with what I've come to like better than past is a mix of oil, black oil paint, and a gel. And you rub it on with a paper towel because you can rub it off and you can leave it in streaks. So you have this pattern, and then you have a nice oily look for Mando stuff. But you have to remember the last step is you have to seal it with a clear coat, a matte clear coat. So I just named a lot of layers, but just remember each layer has to be thin.
Yeah, and if you've been beginning with spray paint like I was, I'm not very good at YouTubing and looking things up. I'm just a go for it girl. Look up how to spray paint. You think it's like a hold and spray. There's many layers actually to depth and layers and whatnot. And also another favorite is frog tape. Having the right tape when you're taping, because if you leave different tape too long, it leaves a residue. Same with the latex. If you put the latex on and you leave it for more than a couple days, like that is sticky and a lot harder to get off your kit. So like knowing about the timing of each material can be very helpful.
As you can tell, everybody up here could do a 3-day class in any question like yours. There's a lot of depth. That's why it's good to be able to get onto the internet. But also just talk to people. If you see somebody here at Comic-Con who has something, wow, how'd you do that? If you say that, be prepared to stand there for 15 minutes as they walk you through every step.
Sorry.
Okay, we've been talking about where do you go online for these. So we listed the fast, easy, obvious ones up here on the chart. Anybody got an absolute gotta have go-to?
You know, I find like a broad range research place go-to. It's just easy to give you ideas. Is Etsy. Just look on Etsy. I mean, the makers named here are fantastic. I mean, but they also include downloadable patterns, and that's the really big benefit of going and using those. Like Evil Ted, I worked with him years ago with Digital Domain. He's a great guy.
He's
super
great.
Nice. And you know, huge fan of I always say it wrong. Annika, you say it.
Kamui.
Kamui?
Kamui?
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, Kamui cosplay.
So yeah, Etsy is just that easy go-to. Have a look, you know, describe what you're looking for, or even just do a Google search because it'll probably drive you to Etsy. And what you're looking for in the beginning, I think, is just visuals, right? Because you can decide on what your budget is after you have a visual. You're like, okay, now I have a direction. What kind of budget do I want to put this to? Like I used to do stuff and tell myself, what can I do? $100. That's it. Like, just stop right there.
Yeah, we did a $100 gonk build contest a while ago, and you know, go to Home Depot, get all the parts you can find, build a gonk, see who can build the best one for $100, and some amazing ones came out of it.
Right.
One of the resources that's not up here that is really helpful is the Replica Prop Forum.
Oh yeah.
This is a
The
forum that goes
RPF.
back 25, 30 years. There's a lot of people who are in the professional prop guild, and they share things that they are working on for upcoming features. They share things that they have worked on. They are now released from NDA, show how they built. There are both costumes as well as props that you can find, tips and tricks on how to make, and they've got links to all sorts of stuff there.
Yeah, when I do a Google search, I see it named most often as the RPF.
Yeah,
Yeah, the RPF.
The RPF. My favorite's obviously Evil Ted and Epic cardboard props. Raphael's fantastic.
Yeah, and you can switch materials on it. Just because they in cardboard, you may like foam better. You may be able to handle ABS foam. You can always do substitutions like that. But you might also want to make it in cardboard as your proof. Customers say we make a muslin. You get the cheapest, junkiest fabric, You make one, you make all of your changes and use that as a pattern for your final.
And Rafa, oh, go ahead, Annika.
My meta started in cardboard. My first one
That's right.
was cardboard and spray paint from Walmart. And it was flat. And then like a cheap, like $20 Hasbro helmet. Definitely start cheap and work your way up
Yeah.
as you're learning the materials.
It's so funny you say that. I was upside down or backwards. I did one of these as a full 3D print, and then I measured it and created patterns to do it in foam.
Yeah. And you can, like Annika said, you can use the cardboard. She made her armor about that. I use that for patterns all the time. And regarding like all the helmets I can make, Raphael doesn't even tell you to like use paper mache. He does it like with I think glue and then just like a thin layer. I'm the one, I'm like, I want to add a lot more to it. I want to add paper clay to it and paper mache, and that's just my thing. So you can just expand on, he gives you the idea and then you just take it a little further.
Also, a big fan of upcycling stuff. So I've got totes of these things we call greeblies. They are the little detail pieces you stick onto props and pieces of costumes. And, oh, my toaster broke. I'm going to throw that away. First, I'm going to take it apart and see what cool little bits I can save out of that. The car broke. I'm going to save that old oxygen sensor, spark plug, and cut it apart and use it for random parts on props. So we've got totes and totes of little, this is an interesting looking thing. I bet if I painted that, I could use that on a droid. I could use that on a gauntlet. I could use that as a detail piece on a jetpack.
You know you've been doing this for a while when you have a bucket full of those.
Multiple totes of greeblies. Yes.
We're all there.
Bring you bags of that stuff.
Yes.
I thought you'd like this.
Well, when you get more in community and you get to know other cosplayers too, it's great because then you can ask, does anybody have a piece of black styrene plastic about yay big? And somebody go, oh yeah, I'll bring it to you.
Yeah, and also like I know Amazon is like quick and cheap and easy and dirty, but like it's not original. There's 100 million other people who bought that Amazon thing, and like I feel like if you're really trying to make a kit look unique, take the time to go to the thrift store, do some hunting. Like you'll feel much more your primal instincts of the hunter gatherer find will be much more triggered, and the joy will be that much more real, and your kit will be that much more original when you go away from just like the easy mainstream. I'm also an environmentalist, even though I'm wearing plastic. So like I always try and consider the environmental factors that come along with cosplay.
And a great source for leather is whenever somebody you see an ad like free leather couch, get it, harvest all that leather, and, and you can make so many things with it.
I save a lot of money.
I currently have an old couch frame in the back of my truck that I went and harvested all this awesome black leather off of, and now I got to dispose of the frame.
I've done that same thing with like old leather jackets.
Yeah.
That like the
I made
Goodwill's like,
jackets
oh,
on
this is
couches.
only $5. I'm like, that's mine.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna cut that thing up.
Yeah, and I feel like another aspect of quality kit is fabric. Like polyester is easy and cheap and whatever. It's also very hot and sweaty, and like it looks like plastic. Whereas if you're wearing something from the thrift store that's cotton or linen or whatever, it looks more real.
It's organic, it's authentic. Yeah, sure.
Poly blends are like polycon is a better way to do it. And like Ayla said, upcycling, going to the thrift store. I like to buy things that are like extra large, and then I trim it down to whatever size I need to do it.
And the pride of making it yourself, there's stuff you can buy. Like I could have purchased this armor already made by several suppliers that make this, some on Etsy, some on, but I wanted the kit. I wanted to be able to say, no, I put in the time and made this myself.
Right.
And so I did. And it took me a year to build what probably somebody like Nathan would build in about 4 hours.
No, those things take me a month. I've done it enough times. I know it's a month every time.
But you can buy some of the stuff that is already built by people who do it professionally, and there's no shame in that. Is it a great costume? Do you like wearing it? Does it make you feel good? Thumbs up.
Yeah, and like if you're buying from Etsy, you're supporting, or other cosplayers in the community, you're supporting other artists.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the best part with buying costumes from other people is making the connections. Because once you have the connections, hey, I know this person, I can come to them for this help, or I need something made, I'm gonna go to this person.
You can trade skills.
Yeah, I feel like that's what cosplay's about. It's community.
I was a great carpenter when I got into the costume guild. I traded carpentry work for clothing. It's wonderful.
It's great. Yep.
So we talked about supporting people. We want you to support the kids who are out there cosplaying. And I was looking out here, and I don't see any. Stand up. This is
Yay!
out there, okay? This is what we want.
And she was at 101 yesterday.
Yay!
You know, encourage them. It's a wonderful thing. And when they come up and go, why don't you build that? They want to build it. So definitely. Annika, how young do you think you should start cosplaying kids?
6 months.
If you start them young, they're gonna want to do it their whole life.
That's true.
But I would say, like, as far as them choosing their own costumes, like, definitely not, like, I would say personally, like, 4 or 5, so that they really have that input and they're gonna build those memories.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the cosplaying that was done before I was 5, I don't remember anything. But, like, kids have very creative ideas, especially while they're younger. And you want to encourage those and keep them going.
So there was, when she was 4, she came to Comic-Con and she saw a group of Disney princesses that were going as a cosplay group. And she thought, before the next Comic-Con, I want to join them. What they need is a fairy zookeeper to take care of their magical animals. So she dressed herself as such and found this group of Disney princesses the next year, and they got it. It was instant. Oh, are you our fairy zookeeper? Come with us. And they're like, can we borrow her? Can she come with us? And they just tribed up. It was great.
We're going to need that picture for next year's panel. I need a picture of that for next year's panel for the
We
kids.
got it.
Just to mention this term, what I've learned that's called is convention family or con fam. And that was like a beginning story for you. It's really cool.
Origin story.
Okay, show of hands. Who prefers to do original designs? Who prefers to do recreations? Who does both?
That's it.
I think these are perfect pictures for it because it points out several things. Animators may not have a notion of what it's like to turn that into real clothing. Okay? Green jacket became a leather jacket, which seems better. It strikes that thing. The other one is nobody is shaped like an anime cat. You've got to make a lot of decisions. My yesterday's outfit was based on a Lego minifig. You're making a lot of guesses and things, and people may get it and they may not. But those are the decisions you want to make. And just because you're recreating, do you have to keep it exactly like it was on the screen?
Only if it's for a certain group. Like if Brendan, he's in the 501st, that has to be as screen accurate as possible. I'm not in any of that stuff, so I can take a little artistic liberty here and there.
You know, like, yeah, if you're not going for, like, approval, definitely modify things that are going to make you uncomfortable.
Yes.
For the rest of the convention. I've made the mistake of, like, doing recreations, but doing it in such a manner that I am hot, I'm sweaty, I don't have pockets. Pockets are a big thing. You need pockets or a pouch or something to carry your stuff. At the bare minimum.
Or a handler.
Or a handler, yes. If you have a mask on or you are very vulnerable.
So I became a member of 501st and the Mando Mercs to learn the rules, and then as soon as those kits were approved, then I learned how to break all those rules.
Yeah, that's Nathan.
It's like, where do I put my phone?
That's
Well,
Nathan.
you gotta figure out how to hide a phone pouch in your gear. Where do I put my key card to my hotel room? Like, because again, there's logical hiding places, and then there's, desperate stick it in your boot hiding places, which is hard to get to.
Yeah, and I would say like with, when I was in art school, of course they encourage you to do your own work, but they always make you do a recreation of a master's piece to learn how to do the techniques and for various reasons. I myself, my perfectionist has a hard time doing recreations because it's just never perfect enough for me. But when I did my first kit, which was a Sabine Wren, I learned so much attempting the recreation that then I was able to later apply to my OC characters. That was very helpful.
Mashups.
Those are my favorites.
What does it take to make a good mashup?
I think two recognizable fandoms or properties. Like there's Chewbacca, obviously, but he's dressed like the Beast, and you've got Belle, like Princess Leia. So I think that's that's like such a cool thing. The Mandalorian, Anakin, I saw these backstage of the Masquerade. That those are the Moana Mandalorians, and they were fantastic. So cool.
Yeah, you'll find when you do mashups, sometimes you'll hit it perfectly and everybody gets it and they're just rolling in the aisles. Sometimes they'll get one part of it, maybe not the other. And that again is, go in and edit it. Bump up that thing.
Yeah,
My Star Wars Obi-Wan with the brown bowler giving the nod to the hood, nobody got it. Changing to the hood, everybody got it. So keep trying things. That's why you reach that point on a build, you're about maybe 80–90% through, you're done, and you're disappointed. Put it on, go to an event. People will amaze you. They'll, oh, that's so great, that's so wonderful, and they get you all excited so you can push through to the next 20–30%.
Yeah, when I did my Cookie Monster Stormtrooper and I walked around with the sign saying the dark side lied, they don't have cookies. That was I made the decision the night before. I'm like, oh, I could do my Cookie Monster head on this. Let's have fun with it. I'll just make the sign real quick. And then got like 1.2 million views on Reddit the next day from, got interviewed by Will Wheaton. It was fun, but it was something that very, very last minute threw together. And then from that, a whole bunch of people said, you know what? We could do legit Muppet versions of these crossovers. There's now a whole Muppet squad in the 501st that do these really, really great Muppet screen accurate crossover versions. And now they're wanting me to like up my game with the Cookie Monster and bring it back.
We'll work on it.
Better. So yeah, you never know what you're going to spin off with that, but super fun. Some of the fandom crossovers, you like both. So why not mash them up together?
You know, like a couple years ago, I did Slither and Mandalorian, and that was a big hit.
Yep.
It's pretty fun. Into the Harry Potter photo shoot for the first time in years.
You know, way back in the day, you did a Princess Twilight Sparkle Master Chief from Halo. So yeah.
And likewise, you can add in seasonal elements. You can dye your Wookiee green.
I have that. That's mine. Chewbacca's Irish girlfriend. She may be here on Sunday.
Also, so the character was male, you'd rather have a female.
Or vice versa.
Why not? Why not? We see that a lot now. Okay, I'm unleashing my Queen of Masquerades, Catherine, to tell you what it's like to do masquerades, the big events.
The Masquerade is tomorrow night in Ballroom 20. It is amazing. I was in the Masquerade for 19 years in a row, and then last year I wasn't able to get my costume ready, and we took a break. Annika's been my partner in a couple of Masquerades, and it was so cool because we get to be backstage and just relax and see everything up close. The Masquerade is where you really bring it. I mean, like that's like the top of the game. Like you have all sorts of different things, you know. This is not just something simple. It has to be made from scratch. If it isn't a purchase component, it has to be modified at least 70%. You see 3D printing, but not as much because they kind of want you to be more into old school. So you see a lot of sculpting, you see a lot of resin, you see all sorts of weaving and things like that. And a masquerade costume is typically not a really comfortable costume, but when you're a group, a lot of people, you kind of want to be comfortable because you want to wear it the next day. But I have several masquerade costumes that I wore it on the stage the night before, and that was it. I haven't worn it since then because it's just so heavy and so hard to wear, and you can't wear it at a con. So a hall costume is like what we're wearing right now. It's something you can walk around in, you're comfortable in, it's cool. You're not going to be bumping into people. Masquerade costume, not so much. You could totally, you know, take out somebody's eye with some of my costumes.
Yeah, definitely talk to people who have done that masquerade, because the rules change from one masquerade to another tremendously.
Yeah.
And always workmanship is a bigger deal. Is crowd pleasing more? Talk to the people who've done it.
You have to do a skit, all that stuff.
Last year, I was really surprised that this one, I would call him sort of a newer cosplay, reaching to the professional level, Joe Star cosplay. He did Halo Master Chief, and he did months of build videos leading up to that masquerade. And his custom design and CAD work really showed in the show. And it surprised me because years past, the masquerade was more about sewing, stitching, and this was a full custom foam / back-formed kit. And he actually took first.
Okay, couples and groups as cosplay can be real effective. Can be herding cats. Those are the same trade-offs we talk about. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
But when you travel in a group, you really make a statement and you feel really cool. We at WonderCon did the Mandalorians. Oh, here they are. And I think there was 9 of us. Our friend Sean, making a Mando, wanted to recreate the scene with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Satine Kryze and the Mandalorian backup dance crew. So that was pretty great. There was 9 of us, and trooping together and the photos, it was really a blast.
But you know, referencing couple cosplay, that's essentially what this is. These are based on the new animated Mandalorian series. And so that's why horns on both of these. This is actually Ahsoka's Super Commando, and that is the Sabine Wren helmet converted with Mandalorian spikes. And then she did all of her custom paint choices when we agreed on 3 colors and just go to town from there.
Okay, lightning round. Best tip for hall costume.
Best tip for hall costume. Make sure it fits you. If it doesn't fit you and it's big and sloppy, it will show in your movement. So make sure it fits. And during that process, it should be comfortable.
Make sure you can use the restroom.
Yes.
Pockets are completely necessary. Or even if it's just one pocket for your phone. You need it. Trust me.
Never swim alone, penguin credo. Always tribe up, safety in numbers. If you don't have a handler, get a handler. But if you absolutely can't, don't go alone. Go with somebody else in costume that can keep eyes on you.
Comfortable shoes and be able to drink, stay hydrated. When I wear my Wookiee costumes, I have it so that I can rig a straw so I can still drink water with my mask on.
Masks and helmets. That little inset picture, that was my view of Comic-Con when I wore my dive suit.
Oh yeah.
So it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off.
Okay, quick mention, figure out a fan system in a helmet. That's a big help.
For helmets,
You can see it from that far away, sorry.
Okay, we've mentioned a lot of groups. 501st, the cosplay for charities, cosplay for cause.
Legacy Cosplay Society is one of the local charity groups that I'm a member of that. So actually Brendan and Annika as well. And you can go to like Ronald McDonald's house and military hero events, things like that for the local families and kids especially. It's really fun to cosplay for charity.
And that group is a huge huge support element for the cosplayers as well as the people they're cosplaying for. We've talked about all of these. Go to those conventions, talk to people.
Network.
Meetups. A few of the local groups, and most of us are in multiple groups.
Right. We cross-pollinate.
Yes. The most important part.
Most important part, we want to have fun. That's a lot of stuff, and we can
Yeah.
scratch the surface. I'd like to take a couple of questions. Officer.
I live here downtown. I am space challenged. A 721 square feet is a really small pattern space. I have access to the garage, I have access to the workshop. I know they exist. But what do you recommend for us with space challenges?
Shelves. Lots of shelves, because you move up. You can store your stuff there.
Those yellow and black Costco tubs stack
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah, I do like one tub per kit. Just say, okay, that one goes there. And even though I might use the same boots for multiple, that helps with compact storage. But getting it organized and sliding into shelves, huge help.
Way in the back corner.
Is there any different methods to making different shapes? That's a really custom thing. So it ranges on what's your background. Like, are you a buyer or are you a builder, right? So if you're a buyer, it's really fun to shop on Etsy. And then maybe if you're a buyer builder, which I would put myself in that category, I try to buy an STL over having to do it from scratch. I do that when I have to. And so during that process, you learn scaling. Like, okay, you bought I'm guessing from here you're about 5'6", and most stuff 5'9". And most stuff is built for the average guy that's 6 foot. So you'd want to scale yours to like maybe 95%. And then you go and print that. The other thing is maybe look at something, and Annika was talking about this, is you could do it out of foam as a practice, or cardboard, to get yourself like started.
Yeah, I know. One thing I do for templates as far as armor is have someone help you wrap yourself in saran wrap and duct tape, gaffer's tape, and you can Sharpie on templates. And that'll give you like a good scale as far as that.
To your actual body.
To your actual body.
And you can also use foil and duct tape. I did that once. I don't know why I was having the hardest time trying to make a gauntlet for me. And then I saw a show and they wrapped a whole shark in foil and they made a pattern that way. So I just wrapped my arm with that and cut it apart, and it came with the perfect pattern for it. So you can do that with like foil, duct tape, saran wrap, that.
And I think, as Annika said, Sintra is very malleable for creating shape.
Yeah, I would do, like, if you're doing like a complex piece and you don't have a 3D printer, definitely start with a Sintra base, and then you can shape using foam and foam clay. Foam clay is my favorite thing ever, actually. I've changed my mind on Sintra. You can make so many shapes.
I know there are a lot of other questions out there. We're running real close to the end, so we're going to be outside of the room.
And we can answer lots of questions.
We'd love to talk to you and answer your questions. But we like to finish with an interesting tradition. Everyone who has a costume, come on up in front of the dais. Try not to go
That's
down
you,
the
Auntie
end.
Entity. Come
If
on
you've got
up.
if you've got a camera in the middle, get the pictures. We're going to take a big group photo.
Come on up.
This is my
Oh my god, exquisite.
Mine's a few bigger bags.
This is amazing. Oh my gosh, I've never seen this one.
Okay, photographers, you've got 2 whole minutes.
Yes. And there are some really great costumes out there. You guys look amazing. Thank you so much for coming, but I love love these costumes.